So, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. While I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing, I'm going to talk to you guys and I'm going to talk about certain things that are really important. Things that are important. This is what we're going to talk about today. What certainly is important is people. I would say, and I would argue, in the real end, the people are the variable in various different aspects of life, I would argue. For example, work life, having the good connections, having the great connections, this is always going to be worthwhile, this is always going to be great and good and whatnot. But also in your private life, it's always going to be amazing, it's always going to be nice to have good friends, people that you can rely on when you need them, and so on and so forth. So it's really important. People are really important, and one doesn't really have to kind of decide, but of course this is highly subjective. When you are the head of a company, then you might be like, well, people are important, but I do also need to make some profits. I do also need to do X. I do also need to do Y and Z and a million other things. And so in this aspect, or in this scenario, in this situation, people may not be just so incredibly and whatnot important. Could be somehow important, but there is more important stuff. The art of worldly wisdom #3. Yeah, because I need to edit the other video for today. Actually, it is fairly late. It is 8 p.m. But it is what it is. What is also important? So maybe what is not important. What is not important is grades. To some degree, of course, if this is your life, if this is something that you're kind of mainly doing, you're not doing anything besides that, then of course it has some significance. It has some value. This is for sure the case, and therefore you should also consider it and treat it as something relatively serious. And you should be serious about that if you are a student, and that is quite it, because what should you be serious about besides that? Of course, some students do have some side hustles, quote unquote. I do really hate the word, but you know what I mean. And they may be also having a job, X, Y, and Z, and yada yada yada, and whatnot. And then of course this does also have a certain degree of significance and well, actually importance attached to it. But well, this kind of leads me to health, mentally and physically. Well, what if what if you quote unquote forget about your health, forget about the fact that, well, how can you forget about that? Well, of course, one does not forget about it, but it is in the end, it is about, I think, ignoring it. I do notice that, okay, I'm just actually feeling really bad today, but I'm still anyway gonna have to go to work because this is what I do and this is how things are. This heavily depends on what country you're living in. In Austria, it is not that much of a problem, of course, especially when it is a small team. The boss does not want you to just be absent, period. This is what it is, and it's just the case. But on the other hand, if you're ill and if this is kind of serious, that you're seriously ill, then yeah, work isn't important then, really. No. So there should definitely be a good balance between well, basically being productive, but still being healthy, especially because in the real end, productivity and being healthy, they interconnected, they are heavily intertwined. And it's important to think about both of these things, because one can't live with the other, or one can't exist without the other one. So it's fairly dumb, actually, to not think about your health and think about the fact that, well, maybe you should just not die in 2 years, just because you're so stressed out, just because you feel so bad about yourself, and you feel so bad physically and whatnot. Then you should probably be doing something about that. But it is difficult. It really is, Okay, on one hand, I'm having work and just being able to exist quite, because of the salary that I'm getting from that. But on the other hand, I would also like to exist, which I think is actually, a more or less common problem for people that are working as pretty high executives, people that, maybe are managers, people that are high in the corporate ladder, that, they can't, they just need this job. Of course, one could talk to one's boss and then, kind of decide a solution, or decide on a solution, and you could also definitely shift jobs, just maybe give somebody else this really great and high position, and you're just, staying there. But it really is difficult. It really is, but in the end, it kind of shouldn't be. It really should not. You should still be able to live, and you should also still be able to have hobbies and have things that you like to do when you're not working. At this point in time, I'm feeling like, wow, okay, I'm just, doing uni stuff, I'm working, I'm doing just, the other stuff. I do like the podcast and whatnot. Like, this is definitely something that I enjoy and I want to do. But sometimes it is also just work, as it actually is today. Today, it is merely, quote unquote, work. Do I actually have sound there? No, I haven't. And one needs to find balance. One really does needs to find balance. But how does one actually do that? How does one find balance in this very unbalanced life and unbalanced situation? Well, time. We have a lot of time, and wasting time is probably not a really good idea. Wasting time is probably going to lead you to, feeling quite bad about yourself, about things, about, whatever. But, yeah. I think I'm going to go to bed now. I actually kind of feel like doing so, because I don't know. It is a productive thing to do, and after I've uploaded the podcast and whatnot, but then I'm actually done for my day. Of course, I could also do some other work if I wanted to, if I really, really wanted to, but I don't want to do that. So sleeping is the next best option, kind of. Besides, of course, trying to keep up relationships and stuff like that. Of course, it is. This is kind of the beauty of phones and social media and other things, that you're just able to deal with these things from a distance, right? But yeah, I guess then I'm gonna end the episode there. It's already been 10 minutes. Gonna see you the next time. Bye bye.